So this cabin almost didn't happen. Not because the idea was bad, but because we started at the worst possible time. One delay forced us to start building right before winter, and once winter arrives up here, everything becomes harder. This project took almost 2 months of work, and along the way we made a lot of mistakes, but it's still standing strong. Before we placed the first stone, we had to wait for 10 months for a filming permit. Approval from Forestry Department, Ministry of Forest and Environment Protection, paperwork, all the fun stuff. And when we finally got the permission to start, winter was almost here. This cabin sits on a natural elevated platform, so water doesn't flow directly under it. But the entire area holds moisture, and when you're building with mud and wood, this matters a lot. This is a beech forest, and beech wood is not ideal for building. It's not very durable, it doesn't handle moisture really well, and it's really hard to find straight logs. Most of the structure is built with chestnut wood. It's more dense and it handles moisture much better. Beechwood was used only for secondary parts. But when it comes to main structure, chestnut is definitely the way to go. The closest chestnut wood source is about 2 kilometers away from here. We had to transfer all the wood to this spot, but the problem is that the road stops almost 400 meters away from the cabin. So from there, everything had to be carried by hand. All the stones we used came from this river. Finding the right shape sometimes took hours. Some days were spent just gathering materials and moving things around the site. For the structure we used a clay-like mud mixed with roots. For the floor in the front yard we used sand from the bottom of the creek when it was dry. It was a really challenging build because we've never done anything like this before. On top of that, the weather was constantly unstable. We had snow, rain, sun, then rain again. There were days that nothing looked different. Carrying rocks, moving materials, just preparations. And once the structure was stable, we started expanding the area. There is a small stream next to the cabin, and when it rains, it can rise really fast. So we built a small bridge to get across without getting wet. We also built a small barbecue so we can, cook some steaks and have some fun. And yes, this was built in the snow. We covered the front yard with stones so we don't have to step on mud even after heavy rain. And filled the gaps in the cabin with moss and mud for insulation. When the cabin was finally complete, it was time for a proper test. And the best way to do it, an overnight stay with a rainstorm approaching. I gathered some wood, lit the fireplace, and waited to see how the cabin will handle it. The good news, it held up really well, with some minor damage. On the back wall, where the cabin touches the mountain, we had a few leaks. But considering the intensity of the storm, the damage was really small. If you want to build something like this, choose your season carefully. Before placing the first stone, study drainage, and always understand your materials. We're not experts, we learn as we go. We make mistakes, we adapt, and share the entire process. It was a tough project, but we made it. Now we're getting ready for the next challenge. If you like what we do and you want to support what's coming next, give us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.